All civilizations become either spacefaring or extinct. That's a quote by Carl Sagan, an American astronomer who worked at NASA in the 1950s. In my opinion, that quote perfectly describes the final frontier, because humanity is limited by the fact that we're stuck on one of the billions of planets of the known universe. However, at first thought, that might seem too bad. Most people go their whole entire lives without ever leaving their home country, so the prospect of leaving their home planet seems quite unrealistic. Humanity has only ever lived on Earth, so why would we ever need to leave? Things such as global warming, pollution, deforestation, overpopulation, these are but a few of the many problems humanity faces on a daily basis. Demographics predict that the population of Earth will increase by 42% to 10 billion people by 2080. Clearly that is too many people for this Earth to handle. Meanwhile, several other planets remain empty, uninhabited. Colonizing these planets would help solve the population problem. Now, I'm not talking about why we should do this, let's talk about how we're going to get it done. The first step is to identify the planets. The two main frontrunners in this race are Mars and Venus, because of their relative proximity to Earth. Mars, at its closest point, comes within 54.6 million kilometers of Earth, whereas Venus comes even closer, 34 million kilometers. Let's take Mars first for discussion. Mars is undoubtedly the most popular option. Films, books, and TV shows will glamorize the idea of man setting a shop on the red planet, and for good reason too. Mars is known to have had water in the past, and currently Mars' polar ice caps and rovers to do so as ice beneath the surface. In addition, a day on Mars, also known as the Sol, is 24 hours and 39 minutes, which is really similar to the day here on Earth. Now, how can we colonize Mars? Firstly, we need to set up an initial base. However, ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. The atmosphere of Mars is about 96% carbon dioxide, making it uninhabitable for humans. However, one solution comes from one of my favorite movies, The Martian. Martian soil contains all the nutrients required for plant growth. In addition, the plants will produce oxygen, which is vital for human life. Therefore, what I'm proposing is that initial base should contain a greenhouse where plant life can grow and oxygen produced can be circulated around the base. Another hypothetical idea is terraforming Mars. Terraforming is to transform a planet to make it resemble Earth. And we want to do this because the average atmosphere of Mars is about 0.6% of Earth's, and the average temperature is minus 63 degrees Celsius, which is unimaginable in human life. Most importantly, because of the thin atmosphere, humans will be exposed to high levels of solar radiation, about 300 million hours per day, or the equivalent of having 50 X-rays per moon per day. Clearly, terraforming is a priority. But how can we terraform Mars? One way is by using giant mirrors. NASA believes this is possible by using the giant mirrors to help reflect the sun's radiation onto the polar ice caps. This will allow for liquid water to run on Mars. The mirrors will be about 250 kilometers tall, which is nothing compared to the relative size of planets. However, ladies and gentlemen, this does not come without disadvantages. Terraforming Mars will take centuries though, and simply don't have that timeline. Plus, Mars has a weak gravity, which means about 38% of Earth's, which means you weigh less, but also lead to muscle brain development problems. And also Mars has a weak gravity, a weak magnetic field, which allows for solar radiation to fall to the surface. So overall, Mars is a possibility, but there are a lot of obstacles which you have to overcome. Let's move on to Venus next. Venus hasn't been looked at as much as Mars in the space exploration program, and it's a real wonder why. There's a similar mass to Earth, about 80% the size, and it takes about half the time to get from Earth to Venus in comparison to Earth to Mars. Most importantly, the gravity of Venus is 90% Earth's, which will reduce the chance of any muscle brain development problems. But how can we colonize Venus? And this is where it gets interesting. With colonizing Venus, the idea of setting up a base on the surface is a no-go. The average temperature is 450 degrees Celsius, or about as hot as it feels down here in the summer. And the average pressure is 90 times the Earth's, which will crush you. However, 50 kilometers above the surface is a different story. Up in the clouds, the average temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius, and the average pressure is 1 bar, the normal pressure on Earth. Hence, what scientists are proposing is that we live on spaceships about 50 kilometers above the surface. We don't need to wear any uncomfortable pressurized suits like we live on Mars. We don't need oxygen to breathe. This can be produced by heating the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to high temperatures. NASA looked into the solution, and in 2003, they published a paper on it. So in conclusion, which planet seems more promising? I would have to say Venus. We wouldn't need to terraform it, which would speed up the timeline for colonization, and being such a strong magnetic field which would help protect humanity against solar radiation? And thirdly, and most importantly, how cool would it be to live in the skies? So if we look into the future and what this means for space exploration, I would say the future seems bright. Elon Musk has theorized, slightly optimistically, that in the next decade or so, humans will start to colonize Mars. The time for Venus hasn't started yet, but should be within the next few years. I, for one, look forward to a future inside decide which country to go on holiday, we decide which planet. Thank you.